Hi, my name's Melissa. I am turning 50 this year. I believe that I've always had Jesus in my life, and I have various Christian religions throughout my career as a Christian, and some periods of time where I've been deeply walking in the desert. So we came to KAC about a year and a half ago, and prior to that, it was a pretty tough time. And Darren is one of our neighbours, and so he invited my husband Shane to Alpha. We were currently separated at that time, and so it was a really difficult time. When I heard that Shane was going to Alpha, I felt very left out, so I asked if I could join too. We did, and we did the series of Alpha, and by the time Alpha ended, we were back living under the same roof. We then did Rooted, and now we're in a small group, and we've continued to be with KAC. And it's like previous Christian religions that I was attending, it was like I was a pilot light Christian, and it's just kind of, I knew what I was meant to be doing, and I did the prayers, and I said the things, and I did this. But being at KAC and really leaning in to the gospel and reading the Bible for the first time. I'd never read the Bible prior. I'd had excerpts read to me, but not actually read it myself from front to cover. And I've done that, and yeah. When I attended Alpha, I didn't know Bob and Ruth beforehand, but I knew Stacey, and Stacey was a fellow public health nurse, and she was new to Christianity, like full stop, and it was amazing going through that journey with not only with her but with Shane as well, because we came together and we were in the car at the same time coming to this. It gave us more time together, but also there was lots of prayers being said for us and our family during that time of Alpha, and it was incredible. So I think the analogy was made by one of the pastors here, and I can't even remember who it was right now, but it really stuck with me because that's kind of what it felt like. A pilot light Christian I was just doing the things that I needed to do, and yes, I would absolutely say that I was a Christian 100%, but I was just doing. And then truly with going to Alpha, and then it took me a couple of months to really feel that I wanted to come to KAC, because we had been attending other churches prior to that. I think pretty much within the first 5 minutes of being within KAC and in the sanctuary, I just felt a deep sense of comfort and welcome. And I believe it was either the first week or the second week, one of the pastors talked about kind of the non-negotiables and the negotiables, or I think the hard rules. It really so made sense to me that you know, not arguing over the things that, are not important, but truly believing in the things that are. And that's when I think that turn happened. It's just like, this makes so much more sense. I felt alive, right? I felt really connected to the people around me and to our group, and it just flowed so beautifully. And I think with anything that I've chosen to do in my life and forced my way with my force of will has always turned out okay, but not great, right? Whereas the things that have just come easily, and not necessarily easily as an effort, but just the things that have just naturally occurred and come to fruition have been the best things in my life. And that's what I feel that this had, it was just like a snowball, from deciding to Alpha to Rooted to small group to attending services instead of going to mass and church and things like that. It just made sense for the first time. Probably ever since Jacob was born, he has been an interesting, challenging child who has kept us on our toes with parenting. And as he emerged forth into his teenage years, it was very difficult to parent him. And when we were on different pages, parenting-wise, my husband and I, and it was dividing our house, and things were getting loud, aggressive, physical, and I couldn't think of a way to make it better. And what I landed on was that we needed to divide the house because Jacob was so angry and was getting physical with Shane and with his brother, and to keep my other son safe and to not have to be a referee in my own house, I made that difficult decision to separate the house. And the first part was I bought a house on 6th Avenue and it was all going well. We were renovating in preparation to moving in, and we had a kitchen fire. And so I wasn't able to move in, which gave us more time. And it was never that I didn't love Shane or that I didn't love Nathaniel even. I just wanted to keep Jacob safe, and I loved them all and both. And we stayed back at the house, and there was some semblance of reconciliation, and then there wasn't, as life happens. And so we separated the house again, and this time I moved downstairs to our rental suite downstairs with Jacob, and Shane and Nathaniel remained upstairs. And we kind of lived a life together but apart. So we were close but not, and Shane and I were good during that time. We would spend time together. It was really Jacob at that time. He just needed that space and that maturity. So Shane and I started going to Alpha at the encouragement of Darren. I think Jacob really saw us just meeting together more often and spending that quality time together and talking to each other differently in more of a faith-based way. I think Alpha finished in the January or the February, and by March, spring break, Jacob came to me and he said, "Mum, I miss Dad and I want to go back upstairs." And that was huge. Like, it just blew me away that, and it was in the middle of him catching up with his teenage buddies. And he left, and then he came back and checked in. "Have you spoken to Dad yet? Is it good? Is it okay?" And I was just like, it was just a really amazing space for him to be in. And since then, the house has been so much calmer than it has been before. And, absolutely not a piece of cake, not super easy, but it's just been different. And I think as a couple, we're better when we're going to church. As a family, even though the boys don't attend yet, even though we're encouraging constantly, it's better for them that we're going to church, because they see how we are and how we interact with each other and how we interact with the world. I want to be baptized because the first time I got baptized, I was baptized Anglican as a baby. I have no recollection. There's no record of it that my mum can find. And so it's only going on her word. And the second time that I was baptized, I was 16. I'd been sent to Sacred Heart School for Girls, and it wasn't a personal decision. It was like I was just doing what everyone else was doing that wasn't Catholic, that was going to that school. It just felt like I was being corralled, and then, I believe that I chose it, but it wasn't an active decision. Whereas this time it's an active decision. It's an active decision to acknowledge to the world that I am Christian. Lean in. Find the people that support you and your faith, and have the answers to some of the questions that you're asking. For the first week, Bob and Ruth, I just peppered them with just all the questions. It just made so much sense. The answers that they gave me were not always those black and white answers that we're looking for, but they helped me expand my knowledge. And then I was able to make this decision to get baptized today, was just finding out information. So lean in.